As a former pharmaceutical chief executive officer, I spent over 20 years reviewing thousands of studies on women's health and aging. What I discovered there changed how I see women's aging forever. The one exercise most women over 60 are told to rely on is not enough to protect our strength and independence as we age. And in countries where women age the best, staying strong, balanced, and independent well into their 90s, they barely rely on it at all. Let me talk to you woman to woman for a moment. Here's the reality most women never hear clearly. After menopause, strength, balance, and reaction speed don't decline slowly. They decline fast. Every single year, year after year. And by your late 70s, that accumulated decline often determines whether you live independently or need daily assistance. 1 in 3 women over 65 will fall this year. And research shows that within 12 months of a hip fracture, 20% of women lose their independence permanently, not because the bone didn't heal, but because the fear and muscle loss that follow change everything. Meanwhile, the advice stays the same. Walk more, track your steps, take calcium, do some light stretching. But walking doesn't train the systems women lose fastest after menopause. Your deep, stabilizing muscles, your neurological reaction speed, your ability to catch yourself when you stumble, your confidence to move without fear. Walking doesn't rebuild those. And without them, independence becomes fragile. Here's the honest truth. Modern medicine, including pharmaceuticals, has helped millions of women live longer and survive conditions that once limited or shortened life. I've been part of that work, and I respect it. It has given us critical research and a far better understanding of how women's bodies function. But medication works best when it's used as support, not as the foundation. There is a gap, not because of bad intentions, but because simple daily movement habits don't fit neatly into prescriptions, devices, or quick solutions. That gap is confidence, mobility, and the feeling of being at home in your own body. And that is the part of women's health that deserves far more attention than it gets. In this video, I want to share something different with you. I'll show you 3 gentle movements that older women in Japan practice daily, and that are strongly associated with long-term strength, balance, and independence. These movements support the exact systems women lose fastest after menopause, help protect balance, and reduce fall risk beyond walking alone. Take only a few minutes a day and can be done safely at home. We're counting down from movement number 3 to movement number 1, and I encourage you to stay until the end because movement number 2 improves balance and reaction speed, even later in life. Movement number 1 takes about 2 minutes a day and, in long-term studies, is one of the strongest predictors of independence after 60. Hospitals in Japan now teach it to women recovering from surgery because it helps reconnect strength, coordination, and confidence faster. Before we begin, I'd love to know, where are you watching from, and what worries you most about staying strong and independent as you age? What I learned during all those years in boardroom meetings is this. Modern medicine approaches women's aging with one central focus: how to manage decline once it shows up. Bone density drops, we prescribe. Balance becomes unstable. We refer to long-term therapy. Joint pain appears. We treat inflammation. These tools matter. They can help many women live longer and more comfortably, but they are designed to manage problems after they appear, not to prevent the loss of strength and balance in the first place. And that's where an important piece is missing. Because prevention through simple daily movement doesn't fit neatly into that system. It's not a prescription, it's not a device, and it doesn't come with a refill schedule. What the research actually shows is something far more hopeful. Women's bodies after 60 remain remarkably adaptable. With the right movement stimulus, strength, balance, and confidence can improve. Not through machines, not through medication, but through specific, gentle movements that activate the body's own recovery systems. These studies are published in respected journals, but they're rarely explained clearly to women in everyday life. And woman to woman, that's why I'm here. You deserve the full picture, not just how to manage decline, but how to slow it, support your body, and stay confident in your movement. The 3 movements I'm about to show you are backed by clinical research involving thousands of women. They cost nothing, they require no equipment, and they focus on the root systems that protect independence. Let's begin with movement number 3. Movement number 3, slow, grounded walking. And I want to be very clear, this is not fitness walking. In Japan, Older women practice slow, mindful walking that prioritizes connection over speed. Here's why that matters. As we age, the nervous system becomes more sensitive to stress. Moving too fast signals threat, increases tension, and disrupts balance. When you walk slowly, about half your normal pace, several important things happen at once. Your ankle stabilizers reawaken, helping you adjust on uneven ground. Your breathing naturally slows, activating the nervous system state that improves balance and coordination. For women after menopause, this is critical. Slow walking restores trust between the brain and the body. Here's how to practice. Walk at half your usual pace. If it feels awkwardly slow, you're doing it right. Roll each step from heel to toe and feel your full foot contact the ground. Add a simple breathing rhythm. Inhale through your nose for 3 to 4 steps. Exhale through your mouth for 5 to 6 steps. 10 minutes a day is enough. This movement doesn't tire you, it settles you. But here's the critical truth. Walking alone cannot protect balance. Balance comes from the hips, core, and nervous system working together. And that's where movement number 2 becomes essential. Movement number 2. Single leg standing. If I had to choose one daily test of how well a woman is aging, it would be this. Standing on one leg. It looks simple, but neurologically, it's one of the most demanding things your body can do. A large study from Fukuoka University followed over 12,000 adults and found that standing on one leg for just 10 seconds was strongly associated with lower hip fracture risk, better cognitive performance, reduced mortality over time. Why? Because this single movement forces your body and brain to work together. Standing on one leg requires ankle stability, hip alignment, real-time brain adaptation. Your brain has to process input from your eyes, inner ear, and muscles in milliseconds to keep you upright. After menopause, this matters even more. Estrogen plays a role in neuromuscular signaling. As it declines, reaction speed slows, and catching yourself when you stumble becomes harder. That's the emotional reality many women describe. I don't trust my balance anymore. I feel unsteady. I'm afraid of falling, especially when I'm alone. That fear changes how you move. You take smaller steps. You avoid uneven ground. You hold on to railings, and that avoidance creates a cycle. Less challenge leads to weaker muscles. Weaker muscles lead to worse balance. Worse balance leads to more fear. This movement breaks that cycle. Here's how to practice safely. Stand near a counter or wall. Shift your weight slowly onto one foot. Lift the other foot just 1 inch off the ground. That's enough. Keep your hips level. Look at a fixed point in front of you. Breathe normally. Start with 20 seconds per side. In Japan, many women do this while brushing their teeth. 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes at night, no extra time. My mother, now 76, started this after a fall shook her confidence. At first, she could barely hold 8 seconds. 12 weeks later, she reached 70 seconds per leg. And she told me, I'm not afraid of my own body anymore. That trust changes everything. But there's still one movement we haven't covered. And it's the most important one. Before we move on, I need to tell you something important. Most women believe falls happen because the legs are weak. That's not the whole truth. Falls happen when the brain no longer trusts the body to respond correctly. And if that trust, that connection, isn't restored, no amount of walking or stretching will protect you. That's why movement number 1 is not optional. It's essential. Because this one movement helps determine whether you'll live independently at 75, 80, or 85, or whether you'll need assistance. The research is clear. The outcomes are undeniable. And what I'm about to show you could be the most important 2 minutes of this entire video. Movement number 1. Floor transitions. The ultimate test of independence after 60. In Japan, many women still sit on the floor every day. They eat there. And because of that, they get up and down repeatedly throughout the day. In the United States, many women stop doing this in their 50s or 60s. And that single change quietly alters everything. Strength, mobility, confidence, Long-term independence. Here's what the research shows. A major study from the University of Tsukuba followed over 10,000 adults for 6 years. They measured one simple ability. Could participants sit down on the floor and stand back up without using their hands? Those who could had OSAT, far lower mortality rates, much lower risk of losing independence. Put simply, your ability to get off the floor is one of the strongest predictors of independence later in life. Why is this movement so powerful? Because floor transitions require your body and brain to work together. Physically, they demand real leg strength. Neurologically, they require planning, coordination, and constant balance adjustment. It's brain training through movement. Here's the emotional truth. When I ask women over 60 when they last sat on the floor, many say, "I'm afraid I won't be able to get back up," and that fear is understandable. But avoiding the floor slowly shrinks your world. You stop playing on the floor with grandchildren. You avoid situations without chairs. Your movement becomes cautious, limited, and that limitation accelerates aging. So let's rebuild this ability safely. Start with supported kneeling. Use a chair or couch. Lower one knee, then the other. Pause, then step back up using your hands. Do just 2 repetitions, once or twice a day. As this becomes easier, progress to full floor transitions. Lower yourself to the floor with light support. Pause, then rise back up using as much assistance as needed. Over time, gradually reduce how much you rely on your hands. The goal isn't perfection, it's capability. Practice 2 to 3 transitions a day. This movement restores dignity because independence isn't about fitness, it's about confidence in your body. If there's one thing I want you to remember from this entire video, it's this. Your body is not failing you. It's waiting for the right signals. For decades, women have been told that aging means decline, that weakness is inevitable, that pain is normal, that fear is justified. Chairs, cars, elevators, convenience, all of these things, while comfortable, have sent your body a very clear message. We don't need strength anymore. We don't need balance. We don't need the ability to get off the floor. These 3 movements send a different signal. Slow walking says, we still need a calm nervous system, stable ankles, and clear feedback from the ground. Single leg balance says, we still need strong brain-body communication and trust in our ability to stand steady. Floor transitions say, we still need the strength, mobility, and coordination to move freely through space. When you practice these daily, you're not fighting aging. You're guiding your body back to its natural capacity. No gym, no pills, no fear. Just simple, intelligent movement your body recognizes and responds to. And here's what decades of research from Japan have shown. Women who maintain these simple movement practices don't just live longer, they live better.